Oh, what is up, everybody? We are back with another episode of the Beyond the Junkyard podcast. I am your host, Junkyard James. With me, back for the first time as a boy dad, Cody Marinera. Congratulations, my friend. How's the first week with a newborn been?
It's been something. It has been something. It's kind of hard to actually think that it's already been 8 days now. Yeah, 9 days, whatever it's been. That's one thing that you kind of um you don't really realize until you're in the thick of it is days just keep stacking on, and sometimes you don't even know what day it is. You don't know what day of the week it is. But But yeah, that's just the way it be. But it's been a really awesome 9 days. Sleep's been hit or miss, but I feel mom hasn't had a whole lot of sleep either. Maybe more so than me for sure. But I'm enjoying it. I think it's something that every person should experience once in their life is the birth of their newborn. Um, Talk about an absolute range of emotions. It is probably the most emotional thing I think I've ever gone through. Um, I, I don't really have a great word to use for it. That's something I was thinking about over the last week is what's a good word that I can use to kind of describe the the event of a newborn birth, and I don't have a word. Overjoyment, emotional, hectic, crazy. There's so many words, but most of them are good, and the ones that are not the greatest are just the amount of craziness that happens. My wife had a C-section, so uh, there was a lot of people in that OR working on her to get the baby out, and then you got like just a team of doctors that are working on her doing the surgical part to get the baby out. There's the anesthesiologist beside us. There's the other team, the kind of care team that's taking care of him when he comes out. Um, and it's a lot. It's a lot. Once you hear that first cry, though, um, you feel just a tiny bit better that okay, you got the cry. That's what you're looking for. And then just like I said, the overall emotions of it all just kind of take over. But it's such a sense of enjoyment. Um, and scary at the same time because you're like, oh boy, now I have to keep this tiny little thing that can't really survive on its own. Now I have to make sure, I help make sure this thing's alive and survives. Um, and that's kind of where we are in the first couple of weeks. It's just kind of survival mode, but luckily I got a great partner and she's done a hell of a job and trying to just play keep up and um, just trying to take care of her and the baby as well. And also we have an 11-year-old, so that's been a little bit of a challenge in a way, but it's been great to have her, our 11-year-old daughter as well. She's been a great help. She loves that boy to death already. Um, yeah, so not trying to make this an hour or so show about that. But yes, it's been a really great week and a half. Um, Time's already flown by. The fact that it's already been 9 days, but yeah, man, it's great. Um, like I said, I would definitely I would say fatherhood is not for it's for anyone, but not for everyone because I think there's some people that just probably couldn't handle the stresses of it all. But I think if you don't open yourself up to the challenges, if you don't embrace the everything that comes with it, the feedings, the changings, um, the crying, the screaming that can happen, the 2 a.m., 5 a.m., just if you don't open yourself up to embrace that part of it, then you're not going to succeed. But if you do open your mind up, embrace that kind of stuff, it's a wonderful thing. It really is. So excited to see what the next few days, few weeks, few months, so the first few years, what they all hold. I'm not trying to get too far ahead with a few years down the road, but soon as we, as soon as he gets a little bit older, maybe kind of starts getting more aware of things, that'd be cool to kind of see what his whole world kind of looks like in that perspective. But um, we just got done feeding him before the show, so he's now in milk drunk land, hanging with mom. But maybe in an upcoming show, I can show the little guy off, little marinara, and let him see, let the crowd, let the audience see what he looks like. Um, yeah. How was your last week been? I did catch a little bit of the show last week, but how's things been on your end?
It's been business as normal, I guess. Uh, Work was a little hectic today. I ain't gonna lie with you. I usually get off of work around 4:30, 5 o'clock, and I didn't leave the office today till damn near 6. So um it was a bit of a mess, but hey, you know what? That's just part of life, and you gotta take the ups and you gotta take the downs, and we're here. We're working, and it's a Thursday, and we get to talk about my favorite pay-per-view of the year. I think I say this every year. Forbidden Door is my favorite pay-per-view of the year. Simply for the fact that throw throw any of your storylines out the window. Storylines don't really matter in this pay-per-view. It's just going to be just pay attention to some wrestling. Now, with some caveats, some because of I think the direction of some of the summer stuff that's going on in AEW, there are some storylines that are being played out, mostly with the finals of the Owen Hart tournament. We'll get into the matches here in a little bit. So there are some storylines that'll play out, but for the majority, like there's no storyline for why Kenny Omega is fighting Zack Sabre Jr. He's just fighting Zack Sabre Jr. just because. Why the fuck not? And so we'll break all that down, but first I wanna do right by our favorite partner, and that is Dubby Energy, your taste buds favorite energy drink. Dubby Energy is a powdered energy drink, kind of like a protein mix, sort of say, that replaces your inferior caffeine beverages containing zero maltodextrin, zero fillers, zero artificial colors and dyes, and none of those so-called proprietary blends that you hear some of these other products have. The star of the show is the coffee fruit extract, which gives you focus, gives you energy with none of the jitters, none of the crash. We are so glad to have Dubby as a sponsor. We have a discount code for you. Go to w.gg, use the code Beyond the Yard, save 10% on your order. Again, w.gg, use code Beyond the Yard to save 10% at checkout. w.gg, code Beyond the Yard. All right, let's before we jump into Forbidden Door. Um The NHL draft is tomorrow night. And apparently certain NHL teams think that the week leading up to the NHL draft is like the NHL trade deadline, because we have this might be the most active I've seen trading wise leading up to the most of the times we see some of these NHL trades during the draft, but we're seeing a lot of moves being made before the draft, and one team in specific, and that is the Washington Capitals. They've put themselves in a position where 2 years ago, I think they over exceeded expectations, making the Stanley Cup playoffs. And then last year, well, God forbid if they would have played in the Western fucking Conference, they would have made the playoffs. But Vegas can cruise control their way to the Stanley Cup Finals with 79 points, while the Capitals get 81 points and have to settle for first team out. I think they realize, you know what? We're almost there, and they've made some moves. Trading Connor McMichael for Jordan Kyrou, trading for Alex Tuck. Everybody seems to think that means Ovechkin's resigning. You would have to think that is the point. Yeah. You're a Capitals fan. I'm a Capitals fan / Sabres fan, but mostly Capitals fan. um, your overall thoughts on what the Capitals have done the last couple of days?
It's a far cry from the last few years where it seems like we just try to find the depth pieces, the bargain contracts, if you will. And I mean, I get it because we still had Carlson on under contract, Ovechkin, of course. Um, before Oshie retired, we had Oshie and Backstrom and Kuznetsov. So I mean, you had your top guys that were still under big deals, and so you're trying to find the bargain guys that are depth pieces to try to help you win a cup, and that doesn't always work. And um, at the same time, you're trying to get your prospects in line to start making some jumps. Whether it's the juniors, whether it's Hershey or South Carolina or over in Europe. Um, and I think we were just kind of in that weird middle ground territory between 21 and this past season where you still have Ovechkin, you still have a chance to make it to the playoffs and possibly win a cup, but it's a matter of the roster management of how do you you know cap wise, what can you do to try to fit this, and at the same time you're not trying to break up then Oshie, Carlson, Backstrom, Kuznetsov, Ovechkin, um, and it's just hard to do. And then finally, we started making some trades and some pieces over the last couple of years. And then I think the way that Spencer Carberry likes to coach his team is, yeah, they want to be physical, but they want to also be finesse. They want to have a bunch of two-way guys, speed guys, things like that. So now with the influx of the youth, with Ryan Leonard and now Cole Hudson, um, now dealing Connor McMichael, he's gone, and Hendrix Lapierre is gone. Um, Now you're trying to find that youth and speed. Ilya Protas, Alexei's brother is now on the roster full time. So you got three young, fast guys that are on the roster, and we're not done. I think Lakovic is still a possibility to make the team and contribute in some way. Justin Sordiff was a really good rookie for us last year, even though he wasn't in the farm system. He was still technically a rookie and showed flashes of his speed and what he can do skill wise. But he's also a good two-way player too. Um, and my biggest thing is I'm glad that we did trade and you have to take risks. And I think that Chris Patrick, even though he's not been the most aggressive GM for the Capitals for the last few years, he definitely changed that this past offseason or this offseason. Um, we have the coaching in place. The general manager is now making moves to get these top six guys with Tuck and Kyrou. Um, and now it's just a matter of can these younger guys put it together as well to make a good run to the cup. I think Ovechkin has to resign because this is on paper probably the best last chance that he has at a cup. Um, my only gripe with the moves is at some point during the season. Well, first of all, we do need a right defenseman that is a good shot. Um, be funny as hell as if we just signed Carlson back to a 1 year deal and, and
Yep.
solidify that spot, even though I don't love that. Um, but I really don't want to make another big splash with trading away, possible prospects or even the 18th overall pick for tomorrow night. I don't want to trade that to get a right defenseman if it's really not a fit. Um, but I really, really, at some point this season, want to see Andrew Cristall come
Mm-hmm.
up and make an impact on this roster. I don't love it when you bring a very highly touted, skilled prospect and put him on the fourth line or even the third line. Because I understand that the ice time, you're not going to give the guy 20 minutes because he's not, a full time NHLer. But to me, the best way to develop the guy is you can mix and match up and down the roster and in the lineup. But if he's a highly talented skill prospect, second, third line time is okay. First line time is good too. But I just don't want to throw the guy in the fourth line and just say, all right, good luck. You're good enough. You should be able to make things happen.
Right.
But I hope we see Crystal at some point this season, Lakovic as well. Parashak, I think, should possibly make an opportunity at the roster a little bit this upcoming season. So it's going to be interesting. Like I said, I still think we need a right-handed defenseman, a skill guy in that slot, and we have the cap to possibly do it, even if we do sign Ovechkin to a 1 or 2 year deal. But yeah, this has been a really good offseason so far for the Capitals. Tomorrow night for the draft, we'll see what we do there, if we even make another deal or if we just pick with the pick we have. But now all of a sudden it's like, as much as I hated the fact that the Hurricanes won the cup, and I really don't love that. Maybe that was a wake up call.
My bad on that, by the way.
Yeah, you're bad. You have a lot of apologizing to do. You are the Danhausen reverse. Just don't say anything going forward, and maybe teams that we like or don't like will or won't win. Yeah, as much as I'm looking forward to football season in August and September, I'm also now looking forward to hockey season in October, where hopefully this roster that's on paper looks amazing. Now it's just a matter of getting the chemistry and clicking and getting off on the right foot when it comes to October.
Yeah. I realized last year with the Capitals that, it's really interesting. I've always had fear of trading prospects ever since George McPhee traded Philip Forsberg a while back. But I guess you got to realize at some point these prospects, you got to get guys on the team that can contribute. Your older guys are going to age out. I mean, Ovechkin is only going to be in the league for a certain amount of time. This might be his last gasp to go. And so, like, I love McMichael, but I think he was expendable. And I'm not a super big fan of how much extra we had to give up to get Kyrou, especially for the price tag of Kyrou. It's a little bit pricey for him. But again, like you said, you got to take those risks sometimes. Same thing with Tuck. Tuck's a good player. I don't know if he's worth $10.8 million a year. But again, that's one of those deals where, you got to pay the guys. That's just kind of how it is. If you want to succeed, you got to pay the guys. And so, Capitals should be pretty good this year. They just got a couple pieces to fill, like you said. I like this question. Oh, well, first, Wavy D's been in the chat here. He says the NBA offseason has been crazy as well. Yeah, it has been. Giannis going to Miami. Here in Charlotte,
Ball just got traded.
Yeah, LaMelo got traded. There's a rumor that Jaylen Brown is going to get traded from the Boston Celtics here. Eventually, at some point in this offseason, there's been a lot of moves. Oh, and don't forget the fact LeBron James is a free agent. So the parade that goes around with where LeBron James is gonna sign there will be interesting. Last part of this sports bit before we get into Forbidden Door. The reason why everybody's here. I like this question by Wavy D. Explain your favorite offseason NHL trade in wrestling terms.
I'll let you go first. I'm gonna have to think about that for a second. I don't really know if I have a great way to explain it in wrestling terms. Let's see. So,
well, I'll go with one because, and maybe it's not my favorite, but it's probably the easiest for me to come up with a wrestling term. So like you said, Hendrix LaPierre got traded today to the Pittsburgh Penguins of all teams. So to me, it would be like when Bret Hart walked out of WWE and went into WCW. He's going into enemy territory. I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to feel about it, but hopefully he doesn't have a career-ending concussion like Bret Hart did in WCW. But
I would say for me, the we'll go with the Alex Tuck trade from the Sabres to the Capitals. Um, in wrestling terms, that would be compared to, hmm, let's see, that would be compared to when Lex Luger appeared on the first episode of Monday Nitro. Like, it's a
mm,
big deal. We're not talking like the best talent in the world, but Tuck is a very good talent, and Luger was a very good talent in the mid '90s as well. And it was a
maybe
shock and a surprise. And it's
maybe a little
like, but
past their prime.
maybe, but it still has a good few years left in them, a good few serviceable years. Um, Good workhorse. He can do whatever you want him to do. He's going to perform. Um, but you got to squeeze the juice while you got him for those last few years of his prime before he starts going downhill. But it instantly like woke people up as to say, "Oh, this got serious pretty quickly."
Yep.
Um, that's what I would go with. I would go with that.
Wavy D asked, not too familiar with hockey drafting. Is it similar to baseball? First round picks may not make the roster. Yeah, it's a little bit different. Uh,
Yeah,
I'll say this year in the NHL, your top three might make the NHL this year. Picks 4 through the rest of the draft. Uh, you
some
might
may
see him.
get to the AHL. Most of them, depending on where they're at. If they're enrolled in college, they're going to stay in college for at least another season, maybe two. If they're in if they're in the junior leagues in Canada, like the OHL, the QMJHL, the CHL, they're going to
Yeah,
stay with their rosters as well, and the teams that draft them are just going to keep eyes on them. And if they are performing really good, they may call them up to the next level,
yeah.
whether that's an upper juniors, if that's the ECHL, the AHL. Um, yeah, it's a kind of really wacky way it works with the NHL.
Mhm. If
If you have players that are in Europe, Sweden,
yeah,
Czechia, Slovakia, Finland, Norway, more than likely they're staying overseas for at
yep,
least a season, maybe two, depending on where they're drafted. It could be longer.
yep.
But yeah,
When the Caps drafted, what was it, Evgeny Kuznetsov? He stayed in Russia for
it's interesting for
four.
seemed like 3 years.
Yeah.
It took forever for him to come over.
And then like you got to think some of these players that get drafted are under 18. If they don't make the NHL roster, they're required to go back to their junior team until they turn 18, or until you call them up to the pros. They're not allowed to play in the minor leagues.
Another thing into
Uh,
it as well is if say you drafted, and it could be this year, it could be in previous years. If you call them up to the NHL squad, you then have a 10-game period where they can play on your roster for 10 games. And most teams will do this at the very end of the season to try to get a youth build up, or just to see how this person will do in their team. And then after the 10 games is up, you have a decision to make. Either you
yep,
can send them back to wherever they came from, juniors, minor leagues, whatever, or if you want to keep them, then you have to sign them to their entry level contract, and they have to stay on your team. Um, so it's just a wacky, wacky way of doing things in the NHL.
wacky system.
Yes. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, no, they can still play college. It's a little bit different than the NBA and the NFL. Uh,
They're not required.
Right, they're not required to go to college, but most was it Ryan Leonard last year for us? He only joined the Capitals after Boston College got kicked out of the postseason
Yeah, that
tournament.
was two
So
seasons ago. Once they got eliminated from the Big East tournament, then he joined us for the last few weeks of the regular season 2 years ago.
and then
And then
Cole
last
Hudson this
year,
year, right?
yeah, exactly. And then so this will be Hudson's first full time year. This will be
Right.
Leonard's second full time year. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little strange. It's
A
like
lot
a
to keep up
mix.
with.
it's a mixture of like the NBA and like the second round of the NBA draft. I don't know. I didn't pay attention to the NBA draft this year outside of the first round, but typically like the second round's a lot of like stash players that aren't going to play and they might be in Europe or whatever, and you can keep their rights. It's a mixture between that and baseball, and so it's interesting.
Mhm.
Hard to keep up with the NHL stuff because there's like 7 rounds and players that are like 15 years old in Finland that get drafted.
I would I would argue in saying that, and baseball can be very tumultuous as well. But if you're a reporter or a statistician or an insider, it is so hard to keep up with the NHL because if you're following a bunch of these top prospects, you're following them in multiple different countries, let alone that. You could be following them in college, you could be following them in the minors, and then you got to kind of keep up with them. So when teams are not doing good, they're probably going to bring up that guy sooner. Or if the team is doing good, but they're on the playoff bubble, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yep. All right, let's. You know what else is a lot? Uh, the amount of matches Tony Khan is already. I love this. I love this. We no longer have to worry about waiting till Saturday to get the full pay-per-view card. For the most part, I think we'll get one more match because uh next Wednesday, I believe. No, not next Wednesday. 2 Wednesdays from now, July 1st. Is that right? Or Thursday? I can't remember. Whenever July 1st is, we have the women's survival of the fittest match for the TBS championship. And
Next
we got
week, yeah.
yeah, next week. And we still need one more contestant for that. So I think we'll probably have a pre-show match. I'm sorry, a buy-in match. Rumors that I've seen, it's not been made official by anybody, but it sounds like it might be Sky Blue and a Stardom talent. So we'll see if that becomes official anytime in the next couple of days. But let's go over what is official, including the one pre-show match that has been made official. We'll start with that match because I wanna rant for a minute. All right, it's the AEW Women's Tag Title match between the Divine Dominion, Megan Bayne and Lena Cross, versus I typed that wrong. My bad, guys. My finger slipped. Not Thunder Rosa, and
This is where the match graphics are easier.
yeah, and Olympia. Like I told you, I was rushing at the end of the day. I got home at like 8 o'clock. I was rushing to get this done, so this is what you're gonna get. Um, Listen, we ever gonna put these damn titles on the main fucking show, or are they all? Is this just the pre-show? Is this just the pre-show title now?
I
Um,
guess. This. Oh man, this. I don't even have any other words. I mean, it's getting to the point of a failure, catastrophic failure of the women's tag team belts. Like I said, we have the right champions for them. We just we barely know how to book the women's championship, let alone the women's tag team championship. So
mm,
I give it another couple months, and then after that, I'm going to be full press on my campaign of relinquishing and getting rid of these belts forever.
this is on the level for him of the 24/7 championship.
Close. We're getting
All
into
right.
that territory.
So,
Or the
so the
speed
the real
championship.
the real question though is, does Divine Dominion retain?
They better. I don't know why in the hell they wouldn't.
Right? Yeah. No, this is. I don't get this match. I see. Listen, I loved this concept, Tony Khan, the women's tag team belts, but if you're not going to give it the attention it deserves, I mean, look, you have a legit tag team and the inspiration. You know what they're doing this weekend for Forbidden Door? While the show's going live, you can go on to God knows where to do a live Q&A with them during the fucking show. Hey, how about you put them on the card? How about you put like I guess they're stuck in ROH, which is fine, but you're and I get it. Thunder Rosa signed a CMLL wrestler. It's Forbidden Door. So this is fine and dandy, but like you have legit tag teams that you can use to do this, and you're not using them. So I don't get it. Yeah, I think Divine Dominion should win this one. Anyways, all right. Let's go to the men's tag team belts. Cage and Copeland versus David Finlay and Clark Connors of the Dogs. This is a fun match. I think this will be actually a pretty decent match. I like the way that they've built this up. Cage and Copeland, they might not make it to this match after last night. I'm pretty sure I saw them getting choked out with, is that an extension cord? Cables, extension cord, something out.
Yeah.
So this is fun, but I don't think the Cage and Cope lose this match because we got to think big picture to what's the pay-per-view? All in London, England. So it's late, guys. Oh, good grief. Are you the one with the newborn? I feel like I have brain fog.
So far I'm doing okay. Just wait.
All right. You agree with me though? Cage and Cope retain?
Yeah, but I also do agree though that I think that this storyline has actually been pretty good. Hard to kind of get out of the FTR Cage and Cope thing. But they immediately, went into the new feud with the Dogs right after Double or Nothing. So it was good to see that, and they've been on TV every week just about, and have built up this feud really, really well. And the Dogs seem like formidable opponents, or legitimate opponents. I do see Cope and Cage winning, but I do enjoy what the Dogs are doing so far in AEW.
Then we get a 6-man team tag team match, if that makes sense. A 6-man tag match with 3 different teams. The Young Bucks will fight El Sky team, which consists of Mystico and Mascara Dorado. An Unbound Company, which consists of Titan from CMLL and Shingo Takagi from New Japan Pro Wrestling. This is also another really good, fun match that's going to, I think, tear the house down. This is going to be honestly, this should start the main card, in my opinion. Get the crowd up and going. Let Mystico sing, the fans sing Mystico song. That'll be fun in San Jose, would it not? Your thoughts on who wins this match?
I think the Bucks win. But if this does start the show, this is easily going to be up there for match of the night. There's a couple of them that could do that. But I do think the Bucks win, but it should be a really, really good showing for all 3 teams. And it's gonna be a barn burner.
Absolutely. So Wavy D brings up a very good point that I want to bring up here. He thinks his prediction is the Young Bucks win, cut a post-match promo, how they're the best tag team of all time, and boom, here comes the New Day. They face off. I love it. My question though is, I do think the New Day show up. I think their 90 days are up. Tell me if I'm wrong. I'm not 100% sure if they're new. Maybe Redemption maybe after Redemption in July. I don't even know if they had a full 90 days or if they're free to go. But
yeah, I'm not sure about that.
If they show up, would it be better for them to show up after the Young Bucks? I think that's where everybody kind of sees them clashing, as the Young Bucks versus whatever the New Day would be called. They can't be called the New Day. Or do they show up after Cage and Cope and the tag team? Oh, that's right. Wavy D said they didn't need 90 days. Their contract expired. They weren't fired. Okay, that's fair. So they're free agents. To me, it makes a little bit more sense. And this is why. I don't think FTR is going to London. I think they're taking a break. And rumor has it they may not ever fight in AEW ever again. Like, they might just pack it up and go back to WWE, is what I've heard. I believe their contract's up sometime this year, but from what they posted on social media, it sounds like they're taking an extended break. So either we're getting Young Bucks versus the Doomsday, I think is what they've called themselves. Wavy D has informed me. Which is now which makes sense. The New Day, the Doomsday. I like the play on words there. Or we get the same triple threat TLC match that we were saying, Cajun Cope, Young Bucks, and FTR, but take FTR out and put the Doomsday. Wavy D said he made that up. Okay, well, I like the name. Kofi and Austin Creed. We'll just call them by their names. Kofi and Austin Creed. I don't know. Do they jump into that all-in match at Wembley Stadium, or do they get that? Maybe they get the one-on-one match with the Young Bucks at Redemption in Montreal. I don't know. How do you think they make their appearance in AEW? Because I think we all know what's happening.
Yeah, I think it definitely will happen. Would be a good idea to debut them here. Or if not, wait till Redemption and have them face the Young Bucks at All In London. I think either way is probably where it's going to go, unless they want to do a big tag team, triple threat TLC, whatever you want to call it, between Cage Cope, Young Bucks, New Day, FTR, whatever. There's going to be some sort of really big, maybe two big matches happening at All In, tag team wise. But I do think that they will show up Sunday, probably after the Young Bucks match. Although them and Kenny Omega kind of have beef too on social media too. So I mean, maybe there's an opportunity for them. Why would they do it? Why would a tag team show up for a singles thing? Somehow maybe you could do a triple threat. I don't know. But yeah, definitely looking forward to when they do come in. And I think we may not have to wait long for that.
Absolutely. I think there might be a couple surprises on this show. There's a lot of free agent talent. There's a lot of talent that, for lack of better term, we're waiting to see them show back up. Jay White, where the fuck are you at? Maybe he shows back up here. But anyway, let's move on to the next match. It's the AEW Continental Championship match between Jon Moxley and Bandito. You said there's going to be several opportunities for a match of the night. This might be a sneaky one. I think this will be a very fun match. But ultimately, Jon Moxley retains his championship. What say you?
Yeah, I just don't see why he would lose it here. I could see it happening, but I don't really understand the thought process going behind that. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Moxley being Bandito here and retaining the title.
This is fun. We're gonna just pick the same people, just because why the fuck not? The next match. This is a fun one, and if all you do is watch AEW television, you don't even know this match exists. Probably, you'd have to watch social media and some IWGP New Japan Pro Wrestling stuff. We got the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship, where the champion Shota Umino was challenged a couple days ago by Pac. This is on the card, and this is a fun match. Shota Umino is one of my favorites in New Japan. Pac he can just go and do whatever he wants. He works that Japanese style really well. This is going to be a fun match. Ultimately, I don't find it necessary for Pac to win this title, though. And New Japan needs to have something that they can claim that this shows a success from their end. So Shota Umino will retain the title.
Yep, I don't see why Pac would need to win this. Like you said, with the partnership, and New Japan has to win at least one, maybe two matches. So I think that this is a slam dunk here for Shota to win.
All right, you talked about it, so let's talk about it again. The AEW Women's World Title match. Tekla defends her title against Starlight Kid. You know who Starlight Kid is?
vaguely have heard of her, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's about as much. Like, look, I'm about as much as a mark can be in pro wrestling. I've seen her maybe in pictures. I mean, maybe I just need to work on my stardom uh knowledge, but this is kind of weak in my opinion for what a women's world title can be. I don't like the fact that Tekla has spent this entire pay-per-view build-up um basically saying she was going to destroy Stardom just for Stardom to throw some rando that nobody really knows outside of like Stardom fans. Tekla's bigger than this, in my opinion. There's a bigger match that should be at play here. But yeah, I think Tekla retains.
Fun fact: Starlight Kid made her debut uh, on October 11th, 2015, which means she made her debut when she was 13 years old.
Hey,
Um,
that's illegal in the United States, by the way. uh,
yeah. Um, it would be funny, and I think I saw this on X maybe. It would be kind of interesting to kind of play off of the whole um, which I just saw some that she was ranked the number 9 woman in PWI in 2022. So evidently, need to do a little bit better job at research too. But with the whole storyline of Tekla and Okada, not Kazuchika Okada, but the owner of Stardom, Okada, president, whatever you want to call him, how he fired her, she beat him up, whatever. It would be kind of funny as if Tekla lost the belt to the Starlight Kid, and then maybe they have a rematch at All in London where she regains it. Um, just as kind of a good play off of that whole storyline and her whole, you know, background with Stardom in Japan. I'm gonna go with
yeah,
Tekla, but I think it would be kind of cool if they did Starlight Kid winning the AEW Women's Belt, defending it once at Redemption successfully, and then losing it back to Tekla at All in London.
it'd be great. But um, I'm sad to say that's not going to happen.
I I I don't think
Because
it
no,
will,
no, no,
but
no,
it'd be cool.
no, not because of like I don't want it to happen, or it just logistically can't happen because the winner of this next match gets a title shot at London, which is
Yeah,
the
so what
women's own
happens
final.
is Starlight Kid wins it and then loses it at Redemption, then and then goes on.
All right,
Let's
so
get a triple threat.
the women's Owen Hart tournament finals: Mercedes Monet versus Maya World. Who wins this one?
I'm gonna call this the just be the luck of the draw finals, because apparently the rumor has it that Tony Storm was supposed to win this tournament, got hurt or whatever, and then Willow Nightingale was apparently penciled in to win this tournament. She got hurt, so now we're dealt with Mercedes versus Maya, two women that I did not have in my bracket to even get to the finals, and yet here we are. Has to be Mercedes. I just don't want to see any other way around it. I think if Maya World wins it, it would definitely be an upset and a shock, and I would not be mad at that happening. I just don't know. I just don't
All
know.
right. All right. So you know how much I love Mercedes Monet, right? Like I will sing her praises. She's the greatest women's wrestler I think of all time. All time. Better than Mae Young, better than all of them. Greatest women's wrestler of all time is Mercedes Monet. Uh there's one championship she has not lost yet of her 13 belt collector. That's the women's Owen Hart finals title belt that she carries around. I'm telling you, there's just something in the air. I can't wait to see it happen. Maya World's I think gonna win this tournament, and here's the reason why. Just for the same thing you said just a minute ago. Tony Storm was supposed to win this. Willow Nightingale was penciled to win this. Those are both faces. The face is going to win this tournament, in my opinion. And so Maya World, I think, comes in this underdog story. Mercedes Moné loses everything that once made her what she was. She can finally have that lose the last piece of the puzzle, the last ring in her collection to Maya World. Maya World then goes on to Wembley Stadium. You said it's luck of the draw. This is legit luck of the draw. Maya World wasn't even penciled into this match the day of the match.
She wasn't even in this tournament.
Right. She wasn't even in the thought process of this tournament. And this is the thing that I made a TikTok post about Maya World. Now it semi-viral on TikTok because think of this. About a year or so ago, Tegan Knox and Miranda Elise were supposed to get jobbed out of a tag team match to Anna Jay and Ty Mello. And because they thought they were, their shit don't stink and they shouldn't job out to anybody, they decided to walk out of the show. And who filled in for them? Maya World and the Heian. Ever since then, their stock has gone up, and I don't knock it, make the money the way you are, but I mean, Nixon Newell, aka Tegan Knox, she's more famous now, not for her wrestling, but for what she does on the 18 plus websites. So do what you want, make that money. I don't care, Queen. But you fucked up here. You this could have been you. Honest, probably not. You probably would have torn your ACL again. But I just love it. I just love it. I think like we call it like it is on the show. I'm just telling you. Maya World's winning. Maya World's winning this tournament.
That's a great backstory on that part. And that makes all the sense in the world for what you just said. I found a whole nother reason why. You know what? I think maybe now she does win. Because apparently her brother was killed.
Yep.
20 days ago.
Yep. 3 days before. 3 days before. Her first round match
with Sky Blue.
Yep. And then Tony Khan told her she could take time off. She said no, that she would work the show, and then now here she is.
She apparently cited her brother as her main inspiration to get into professional wrestling, along with her mentor Athena, who she beat.
Yep.
And Mercedes Moné.
Yeah, she's been posting a lot on social media the last couple of days that she's studied Mercedes Moné tape since 2015, so it's going to be fun. I think she wins it the same way she's won the first two matches. It's not going to be like some well-executed move. She's going to hit a move, do the roll-up, and get the roll-up win. It's not going to be... Mercedes is going to be caught slipping just for one moment, gets the roll-up pin. She's the she wins the Owen Hart tournament and gets a title shot. Because what's the one thing Mercedes Moné hasn't won? She's won every single fucking title in the world except the AEW Women's World Championship. Yeah. And so I think to tell a bigger story about redemption, Mercedes Moné maybe makes it a triple threat. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe Mercedes Moné gets a title shot against Tekla at Redemption. And then they run the rematch, Maya World, Mercedes Moné at Double or Nothing, or for Double or Nothing shit, All In.
Woo! Sorry, I think you're the one who had the newborn.
Yeah, I'm dead. I'm dead, bro. I'm tired. It's been a long day. Let's continue. This one's the easiest one. Will Ospreay wins. He beats Swerve Strickland, right?
I don't see how he doesn't. And if he doesn't, color me the most shocked person in the world. I'm sure there's going to be some betting people that are like, you know what? Let me take that underdog. Let me take that just because.
You're right.
But I don't see Will losing. I've penciled him in as being the tournament winner last year, going back to before his injury, or right as his injury happened in September. And this is my second to final stamp on the overall story that I predicted back in September of what would happen. If Will Ospreay does beat Swerve Strickland, then I'm one half of my final prediction being correct. But yeah, it's got to be Ospreay.
Yeah, and I just wonder where this leaves Swerve afterwards. He's kind of in this weird period where like he he's being built to be like a world title contender, but not really doing much to make progress. So I'm interested to see what they do with Swerve after Forbidden Door leading into All In London, England. Two more matches on the show. Let's talk about Kenny Omega versus Zack Sabre Jr. To me, this is match of the night. This is going to be a barn burner of a match. And like I said at the top of the show, there's really no story to this match in terms of like the canon of pro wrestling. It's just two really good wrestlers having a really good match. And Kenny Omega versus Zack Sabre Jr. Whew, what a good match this is going to be. Who do you think wins it? It's a good one. He's not frozen, by the way. He's pondering and thought.
Man, it makes all the sense in the world for Kenny to win it, doesn't it? It does. There's just something about my gut saying Zack Sabre Jr. is going to win. I don't know why. I really, really don't know why. But for some reason, I just have this weird feeling that this Kenny Omega story gets more developed of him just, does he really not have it anymore?
Yep.
Is his injury too much? Is it too much for him to bear? Is he really done? And then we turn the arc around, but I just think it's got to be Zack Sabre Jr. My gut. That's my gut.
Your gut says Zack Sabre Jr. I think my gut says Zack Sabre Jr. as well. And Kenny Omega's guts are going to be burning after this match.
First of all, that damn hole that Zack Sabre Jr. had on Jungle Jack last night, I thought his arm was going to break, snap in half. Good God.
Well, see, what happened was Tony Khan told Zack Sabre Jr. to do that on Jungle Jack because he hasn't signed his extension contract yet. So please, Jack Perry, sign your contract before you go to NXT and they call you Forest Boy.
Pair with Lexus King and call him the Tiger King. So who knows, man?
The Tiger King. Yeah, I don't. I think Zack Sabre wins for the same reason, and this is why part of me is like it's going to be interesting because on one end you have Will Ospreay. I think he's going to win his match against Swerve, and then Omega loses, and then on Wednesday we have that locker room vignette or conversation again between Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega. Like we've had the last couple of months after pay-per-views where Kenny's just talking to Ospreay and he'll say something along the lines of, "Good job, man. You've accomplished your goals. You're going to Wembley. You're going to fight for the AEW World Title. Man, I wish I had my opportunity for the world title again. I don't know if I can do it, but I really want another opportunity," which I think leads to redemption. And Kenny Omega getting a world title match at Redemption, but that's for another pay-per-view discussion. Maybe next week on the show, on the live stream, we can see if I'm right there or not. I think Zack Sabre Jr. will win this one. Again, New Japan Pro Wrestling, they got to get a couple wins out of this, and Zack Sabre Jr. Doesn't lose very often when he shows up in AEW. I think they said he's 4-1 in AEW contest on AEW TV. So I think he'll beat Omega, and it advances the story down the road. And then we get to what I presume is the main event, which I hate this match so fucking much. The steel cage match, Team MJF, consists of Kevin Knight, Kyle Fletcher, Jake Doyle, Kazuchika Okada, Andrade El Idolo, and MJF against Team Briscoe, which is Mark Briscoe, Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly, Konosuke Takeshita, and Darby Allin. Obviously, there's multiple feuds built into one big match. I hate this match, though. Why is this the main event? I don't really like this match. Who do you think wins it?
Well, in the stipulation that if Briscoe's team wins, he gets a world title shot. Briscoe does.
Correct. If Briscoe's team wins, Mark Briscoe will earn an AEW World Championship match against MJF.
Which means it'll probably happen on an upcoming Dynamite, so therefore Team Briscoe wins.
That's your thought process? Team Briscoe wins? Oh, they're going to play it at the Clearwater show, the 7-year anniversary show. I actually look. He's the man, right? The Jet. I actually think Kevin Knight picked the wrong team. Don Callis family didn't need a new member. He should have tag teamed with his boy Swerve Strickland. That would have been a great tag team. They need a heel tag team. That would have been a great heel tag team. Maybe Keith Lee shows up and tag teams with Swerve Strickland again. I'm kidding. Don't do that.
Please don't.
No, I think MJF team wins. And then afterwards, I think that 7-year show, anniversary show, MJF will give Kevin Knight his title match that, MJF keeps promising him. At some point in line, Andrade El Idolo wants the title match, so he'll probably fight on an AEW show for a Dynamite or a Collision or whatever for the belt. Or maybe they book that till later, and maybe it main event's a pay-per-view. I don't know. The Andrade piece of that story and the what's his name? Not Chuck Taylor, Trent Beretta piece of that storyline is quite interesting. There's a lot of clashing in the Don Callis family nowadays. Something in my gut tells me Team MJF wins this match though, and Mark Briscoe can kiss his dream of ever fighting for that title goodbye.
That'll be interesting.
But that's the show, and it's in a stacked night of wrestling this Sunday, where if you want to be one of the 7 people to buy Slammiversary, you can watch that as the appetizer, and then if you had 2 TVs, you can set up Great American Bash and Forbidden Door up and watch both of them at the same time, going head to head. It is a stacked night of wrestling, and then if you're in North Carolina, you can go to AML Wrestling. They have a show on Sunday. So you can watch, what's his name now? Black Mike.
Is he part of the nation now? Was that what we did?
I guess I don't know what it is, but you can watch him wrestle at an AML Wrestling on Sunday night. But no, for real, tune in to AEW Forbidden Door. I'm gonna make this prediction. It's gonna be the best show of the night. I mean, shit, Slammiversary is gonna be lucky to, like I said, to get 7 people to buy the pay-per-view.
You're lucky to see 200 people in the building.
Are they over 1,600 yet?
I believe last check they were actually over 2,200. Which, either they started giving away tickets for free or Carlos Silva started buying tickets.
Yeah, that seems. I think last week we were talking about it in the chat, and they were at like 1,600. So no way they sold 600 tickets in a week with the shit that they're going through right now.
Yeah.
Alrighty, guys, that's about all we had for today's show. If you're listening to this and you like what you hear, hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Leave us a comment. If you're listening to whenever I put this up on the audio platform, leave us a 5-star review and all that good stuff. But until next week, I'm Junkyard James. He's Cody Marinara. I'm gonna leave it up to him to say those final words.
Well, it's been a couple weeks since I was able to say these out loud. So, if you say this certain type of thing, 9 months later you will have a kid. I'm a testament to that. Anyways, yeah, a lot of great action this upcoming weekend with wrestling, sports in general. Obviously baseball and got your NASCAR as well. But in general, guys, enjoy. Hopefully, it's some nice weather. It's warm weather. Sorry, I got a hang out. This thing is irritating the hell out of me. Okay. Um. Anyways, it's warm outside, so hopefully you guys go enjoy your weekend and then have a great Sunday full of wrestling. Not often we get that many things happening on one day for wrestling, so try not to be too much of a tribalist. Enjoy it. If you want to watch some of the TNA stuff and the Great American Bash stuff, more power to you. But you gotta save the best for last, which is of course Forbidden Door. Anyways, um, shall see you all next week. Till then, stay saucy, friends.
This is wrestling without the filter. This is Beyond the Junkyard.